Hey YouTube, Rainbow Six Extraction was added yesterday to Game Pass, and of course I had to try it. Whenever I see a new game show up, I have to at least give it a try and see if it's my type or not. Now, before I get to the game itself, let me tell you something, because most people got me wrong. Maybe I said it that way, I don't know. I don't hate Ubisoft and I don't hate their games. In fact, The Division 2 is one of my most favorite games and I still play it 2 years after I started. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check the video for a second in the top right corner to get an idea. If the people's general opinion about stuff wasn't the same as mine, I wouldn't talk about it just because I don't like it. I don't spend a lot of time reading comments on Reddit about stuff, but I do browse from time to time just to stay updated. A lot of people said to get my facts straight. Well, they are straight. When I made the video, the game was 69 bucks in my store, and after that they reduced the price to 49 bucks. I don't see anything made by me about the games and things I mentioned. You're taking it too seriously, guys. Don't get me wrong again, but Ubisoft took a really smart decision by adding Rainbow Six Extraction to Game Pass so people can try it and decide if they wanna buy it in the future, because it's probably gonna drop out of Game Pass in the next few months. No matter what, people always have opinion about something before it's released based on trailers and early gameplay, and then they have to experience the game itself to see if they were right or not. Especially with all the Battlefield 2042 stuff happening, Ubisoft probably wanted to avoid that with Rainbow Six Extraction, because as I said, from the gameplay it looked like it should be Siege DLC, not the standalone 70 bucks game, because it shares the weapons, specialists, most of the mechanics and more. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, and let's be honest, Ubisoft doesn't have the best reputation, just like EA. If you don't believe me, do a little bit of searching, it won't take you long, I promise. I wouldn't say something is bad, for example, or it's not right, if I didn't share my opinion with the majority of the people. Now let's move on to the game. I'm personally not a big fan of Rainbow Six Siege and I don't find it that interesting, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game, it means I don't play it, so I didn't know what to expect from Extraction. I thought I'll be playing Siege on different maps against aliens, but I was pleasantly surprised by the game, and so far it's fun as hell. When you start the game, there's really cool introduction video how everything started in New York City, and it seemed really nice. Immediately you feel like there's a big story and it's not just some random alien shooter. The fact they took the time to make all these animations and come up with a story is awesome, I respect that. You can check the intro if you want, it's in the top right corner. When you get into the game, first you gotta complete the tutorial where you're going to learn a lot of the game mechanics and how to complete the objectives. Your specialist cannot die there and they don't get experience, it's all about practice, so don't worry about it, nothing bad's gonna happen. But definitely pay attention to what the game tells you, because it's crucial to learn as much as possible before joining an actual mission where you can lose your specialist real quick, but you can bring him back later. And guys, please use headset or at least an earbuds. The game requires you to be stealthy and cautious, so they're pretty much mandatory. I played with some dudes who probably didn't even had sound on and they thought they are in Warzone running guns blazing, and the game lasted like 1 minute for them. So take it slow, especially in the beginning when you're figuring it out. The footage I'm showing you is mostly from my first game just to be more fair, but if you're paying attention, you understand how the game works pretty quick. It didn't took me long to figure out everything. I felt Alibi would be a great specialist for that type of game, mainly because of her gadget, which is a decoy that lures and distracts enemies in the area, and whenever something attacks the decoy, they will appear on your screen in red color. I thought I'll use her as my main specialist and I was pretty confident in myself, given the fact I completed all 3 objectives in the training alone. There's no way I'll fail with 2 more people. Yeah, I did. I lost Alibi in my first game and I got pissed a little bit, not gonna lie. We lost the game and let me tell you what, the aliens do a lot of damage in a very short period of time and I love it because it makes it challenging, and that's on the easiest difficulty as well. Medkits are very limited and you can find them only in certain places, and this forces you to be more careful around. Few hours later I got into a really tense match where I clutched the game, almost died, but I will upload it later. After I lost Alibi, my second most favorite specialist became Leon with his wall hack gadget. I went alone, yeah alone, to rescue Alibi with Leon because I couldn't trust random players with this. I was scared to do it cause I didn't know what kind of people I would get and I had no idea can you permanently use your specialist or not. I still don't know right now. After you rescue a specialist missing in action, he or she is gonna be injured and you won't be able to use it. When you complete missions and bring experience, somehow that experience is calculated to health and it helps your injured specialist. By the way, you get the experience from the mission where your specialist died, Alibi in my case, after you rescue them. Weapons choice is great in the specialist I checked. There's SMGs, shotguns, ARs, some even have LMGs, which is too far I think. Maybe you need it on higher difficulty. Pistols are also really decent in the game, you can definitely use them anywhere, but there aren't many choices. Weapon attachments could have been a little bit better because they are there, but you don't really have a choice. Suppressor is like a must to be as quiet as possible, and your only other option is the underbarrel, one for better recoil and the other one for quicker aim, but it's all good, they might add some later. The skins on the weapons and specialists are nice. You can actually claim some free stuff from Ubisoft Connect, so make sure to check there. I didn't encounter any glitches for the 4 hours I played. I was only getting disconnect sometimes from the server when I was waiting to join a game, but I never lost connection mid-game. I admit the game looked much more simple from the IGN gameplay I watched, and in reality the game is better. I have no idea is it gonna get old quickly, but so far I've played 4 hours as I said, I've completed about half of the New York map studies, and I have unlocked San Francisco and Alaska, but I haven't played there yet. I'll move on after I complete my study. I like how half of the specialists and maps are locked and you have to earn them by doing something specific. This way is more intriguing cause now you feel like you have purpose in the game to achieve something, you don't just spawn into a random map shooting aliens for no reason. The graphics are great, it runs smooth as butter on my Series X in 4K, effects from explosions, aliens and things like that look amazing. Audio is definitely on point and plays a huge role in the game. Some people are probably not gonna like it for the stealth part and they'll rush and die with few specialists and that's gonna lead into deleting the game, but whatever, one game cannot satisfy everyone, that's a known fact. I don't know if there's a tutorial and I just didn't play it, or the game never told you that you can knock off the yellow spores thingy of your squad, the one that explodes after a few seconds and makes a gas toxic cloud which leads you to losing health. You can't get rid of it yourself, so someone has to do it for you and they don't know that's a thing. It annoyed me a few times when it happened, but in the same time I don't blame anyone because I had no idea you can knock it off. I learned that from another player. I think the game is gonna be successful, it has potential and I find it much more interesting than Siege, and it definitely doesn't feel like a DLC. It's not really fair to compare it with Siege because they're different from each other. I guess this is more like a Back 4 Blood competitor, but this is definitely better. Adding it to Game Pass was a very smart decision and reducing the price as well because of the whole Battlefield 2042 scandal. Since that happened, I'm sure people have second thoughts on pre-ordering expensive games, no matter how good the trailer looks or how good they imagine it's gonna be. So now when you have the chance to experience the game on Game Pass, if you have it of course, but why wouldn't you in first place if you're on PC or Xbox, they will buy the game if it leaves Game Pass in the future, which is probably gonna happen since Ubisoft Plus is not gonna be included, it's gonna be a separate subscription. Thank you for watching, tell me what do you think about the game and what was your experience down in the comments. See ya!